Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. The next system, cardiovascular system we finished. So coming to the next system, that is nerve muscle physiology. Okay. So in that, first we will discuss about the nerve. So mainly the nervous system contains a central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Okay. So in this class, only we will deal with the structure of the neuron. Okay, so only the structure of the neuron and properties. Okay, so coming to the central nervous system, the brain structures, spinal cord, how it works, so that will we will deal with the CNS, central nervous system class is there, separate class, that is the last system I am going to deal with that. Okay, so in this class we will discuss only the nerve. Okay. Next, coming to the functions of the nerve, so mainly these nervous system receive, analyze and transmit the information. Okay, it will receive, analyze and transmit the information. So we will see how it will receive the information, how it analyze. So analyze is receiving is mainly through the receptors. Okay, the receptors receive the information that will go to the brain. Okay, that will go to the, those information will transmit through a structure called neurons. Okay, the structure called the cells. So that through that it is transmitted to the brain and spinal cord. Coming to the cells of the nervous system, so mainly there are two types of the nerves are present, cells are present. So one is the neurons. So neurons is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. So that means all the information are passing through this neuron. Okay, all the information are passing through this neuron. Next, coming to the glial cell. So glial cells are microglia, oligodendroglia and astrocytes. Okay. So the neurons are excitable tissues. Okay, neurons are excitable, but glial cells are non-excitable. Okay, so neurons are excitable, the glial cells are non-excitable tissues. So coming to the glial cells, there are three types of glial cells. One is a microglia, oligodendroglia and astrocytes. So microglia, it is acts as a scavenger cells. Scavenger means what are the residuals are there, so it will scavenge like a tissue macrophages. It will oligodendroglia is mainly concerned with the production of myelin sheet. So myelin sheet to the nerve fiber. So that is very important, myelin sheet. Next is the astrocytes. So astrocytes are mainly it will send a process to the blood vessels of the nervous system. So helps in the formation of blood brain barrier. Okay. So neurons are excitable tissue, mainly conduct the information, or mainly it receive the stimulus. Okay, so and produce a action potential. All the excitable tissue produce a action potential. Next, the glial cells are non-excitable. So microglia mainly acts as a scavengers. Oligodendroglia, a formation of myelin sheath around the nervous system, and astrocytes or mainly acts as a, it will send a process to the blood vessels, helps in the formation of a blood brain barrier. Okay. Next, coming to the structure of the neuron. So neurons are the nerve cells with its processors is neuron. Okay, a nerve cell with its process. So mainly it has a three parts. Axon. Okay, so okay, coming to the structure of the neuron, there are three parts as I told. One is a nerve cell. Alright, this is axon. Okay, axon. These are the dendrites. Okay, these are the dendrites. This is soma or cell body. So around the axon there is a myelin sheath is present. Okay, it's a covering like. So this is the like insulation. Okay, you can see in the electric wire. So there is a insulation is there for electric wire. The same thing, there is a myelin sheath is present. So oligodendroglia cells mainly produce this myelin sheath around the axon. Okay. Coming to the parts, axon, it is generally long, arises from axon helix. It has a axoplasm, neurofibrils and mitochondria, axis cylinder. So axon ends in terminal buttons, carry the impulses away from the cell body. That means, suppose this is so this is the axon. So axon will start from the axon helix. Okay, this is the axon cylinder. So mainly it carries information away from the cell. So this is towards the cell. So information which is going towards the cell. This is away from the cell. So there is a terminal buttocks is there. Okay, axon has the terminal buttons. So that is mainly very important. That will form a presynaptic terminal. So you have to remember the name. Okay, because I will tell in the next class. Very important. The presynaptic terminals. So this is the muscle fiber. So it will make a connection with the muscle. So whatever the information from the neurons is going to pass through the axon, and it is through a synapse or a presynaptic terminal. Through it synapse with the muscle. So synapse I will tell in the next class. Coming to dendrites. So dendrites are branched. Okay, so dendrites are like this, branched, multiple and short. It is multiple, so many are there and it is very short. Important thing is the nasal granules and neurofibrils are present. Okay, so carry the impulses towards the soma or cell body. You can see here. So this is carry the information from other dendrites and passing towards the soma. Okay, cell body, that is also called soma. So very important, it mainly contains the nucleus. Okay, so that is large, spherical and centrally placed. Neuroplasm means inside the cell body. So this is the neuroplasm. So neuroplasm mainly contains neurofibrils, nasal granules, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, neurosecretory materials. Okay, so these are the about the parts. So already you discussed in the anatomy class. So next, coming to the classification. So unipolar, bipolar, that means there are two poles are present. Okay, bipolar, two poles. So this cell body is present centrally. Okay, there are two poles. Then multipolar. Okay, so many poles are present, multipolar. Next comes the physiological anatomy. So physioanatomy very important. The sensory, so afferent, also called afferent, are sensory nerve fibers. So these sensory nerve fibers, it has somatic and visceral. Then a motor nerve fiber, it has a somatic and visceral. That means functionally it is classification. Sensory means all the sensation like touch. Okay, if you touch on your finger, on your skin, over the skin, or pressure sensation, if temperature sensation, means hot or warm, if you keep on your skin you will sense, na? So that is sensory. So sensory, those sensations are carried by a separate sensory nerve fibers are there. Okay, so that is for sensation there are different sensory nerve fiber. Then motor. So motor means there is a, if you are doing any movements, body movements, so like you are walking, so your limbs, right, your lower limbs and upper limbs are will be move. So that is mainly carried by those sensations. Suppose you want to take on book, so you will lift your, you will move your hand, right? So that sensation will come passing through the motor nerve fiber, like that. Okay, so sensory system is different, motor system is different. Then depending on the myelination, so myelination, the formation of myelin sheath, not all the nerve fibers are myelinated. Okay, so in that myelinated and unmyelinated nerve fiber. Okay, so that is based on the presence of myelin sheath. So coming to the myelination, so that is very important. Okay, so this myelin sheath is a protein lipid complex. Okay, protein lipid complex that envelop the axon. So suppose this is the axon, so it will cover or envelop the axon except at its endings. So endings, so it is not present. Okay, then at the node of Renier, so this is the node of Renier, so this is the myelin sheath. So at the node of a Renier, so this myelin sheath is not present, right? So it will stop here only, then again it will continue like this. So I showed like this, it is not a continuous one. So continuous means, suppose this is the axon, so it should cover like this, right? So it is not like this, so there is a gap is there. Okay, so in that gap, that we call it as a node of Renier. So at the node of Renier, the myelin sheath is absent. Okay, so that is very helpful for the conduction. I will tell next. Myelinogenesis. So in myelinogenesis, in the CNS, the myelin is produced by oligodendroglia. So remember, so they will ask in the MCQs. Okay, so in the central nervous system, so there are the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Okay, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. In the central nervous system, that is a brain and spinal cord. Clear? Brain and spinal cord, call it as a central nervous system. In the central nervous system, whatever the neurons are present, so that is myelination is formed by oligodendroglia. Okay, in the peripheral nervous system, so that is mainly away from the brain and spinal cord. Okay, so like ANS, autonomic nervous system, those are myelination is by Schwann cells. Okay, Schwann cells mainly wrap around the axon up to 100 times. Okay, so it will, suppose this is the axon, so 100 times. So see here, so this is axon, so many times it will wrap around the axon at the node of Renier. So there is a constriction will takes place, and where there is no myelination takes place. You just remember, in the CNS, the myelin is produced by oligodendroglia, and outside the CNS, so that is by Schwann cells. Coming to the functions of the myelin sheath, there is a faster conduction. So because suppose this is the axon, so this is myelin sheath here. So when impulses are come, so the impulses will jump from one node to another. Okay, it is the impulses is jumping from one node to another node, hence the conduction rate is very faster conduction. Then high insulating capacity. That means it is restricted to the nerve impulses within the nerve fiber. So within the nerve fiber only the impulses will be conduction is taking place. Okay. So that's complete the introduction of the neuron. Next, coming to the properties of the nerve fiber. So first is the excitability. So excitability means whenever the stimulus is applied, okay, so it is the ability of a cell to produce action potential in response to a stimulus. Coming to what is stimulus? Stimulus is a sudden change of environment that can be internal or external. Okay, the stimulus is a sudden change of environment that can be internal or external. So that means if you are going for a so it may be if you produce adequate strength is required. So adequate strength is applied, the neurons get stimulated. Okay, suppose this is a stimulus, so this is a neuron. So if you give a adequate stimulus, okay, if you give a adequate stimulus, so then only the neurons get excited. Neurons get excited. So not all the cells produce this property. Okay, so only the neurons or a nerve fiber, then the skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle and smooth muscles. Okay. So what happen if you give a stimulus, now the nerve get excited. So how you will see the nerve is exciting? So that will mainly produce action potential. Action. Understood na? Action potential. Okay, in response to a stimulus. Now coming to what is action potential. Action potential is a self-propagating change in potential across the cell membrane. Okay, it is self-propagating change in potential across the cell membrane. So before action potential, so I will tell about the resting membrane potential. So resting membrane potential or RMP means a potential difference exists between the ECF and ICF. Suppose this is a cell. Inside the cell we call it as ICF, intracellular fluid. Outside we call it as extracellular fluid. So at the cells is at rest, the resting condition, some potential difference will be exist between the ECF. That means between ECF and ICF it is not same. Okay, so that is inside the cell it is negative, more negative ions are present compared to outside. Okay, so negative means negative ions. So you should remember, so negative means negative ions are more. Okay, like a chloride ion, chloride is a negative. So one thing you have to remember, all our whatever the action potentials is taking place, that mainly depends on these ions, ionic changes. Okay, sodium, potassium, chloride, so many more. So in ECF, the positive ions are more, like that. Okay, at the resting condition, so inside the cell more negative ions compared to outside. Okay, so nerve fiber, so when you record, the ICF inside the cell, it is minus 70 millivolts. Okay, it is minus 70 millivolt is the resting membrane potential of nerve fiber. Clear? Minus 70 millivolts of that much potential difference is present in the neuron at rest. Why this? How it is maintained? So that is mainly because of unequal distribution of charged ions in ECF and ICF. As I told, unequal means, so it is not the same like positive and negative ions. It is an unequal distribution of charged ions in ECF and ICF. So one more very important is presence of a sodium potassium pump at the cell membrane. Okay, the presence of sodium potassium pump at the cell membrane. So that means, so in all the cell, not only the nerve, so you just remember, so it is whatever I am telling, the action potential or resting membrane potential is the same in skeletal muscle, cardiac muscle and nerve fiber. Clear? In all the cells on the cell membrane, so this is the cell membrane, there is a sodium potassium pump. Okay, so it is like this, pump is present. So like this, sodium potassium pump is present. So that will operate, so that will guard the inflow and outflow of sodium ions and potassium ions. So that is mainly presence of sodium potassium ATPase. So here what will happen, so when the cell is resting condition, the sodium is moving outside the cell, okay, and potassium is moving inside the cell. Okay, like this it is operating, sodium out, potassium inside the cell. So here what will happen, inside the cell 2 potassium is coming. To compensate, there are 3 sodium ions are moving outside. That means there is a loss of 1 sodium, 1 positive ions. So I will explain in this. So inside, from here the 3 sodium ion is moving outside, so 3 positive ions, and only 2 potassium ions are coming inside the cell. So that means inside the cell there is a loss of 1 positive ions. So this will form a basis for the negative potential inside the cell whenever the cell is at rest. Whenever it receives the stimulus, okay, whenever it receives the stimulus, all these changes, ionic changes will taking place that produce the action potential. We will go to action potential. So action potential, what will happen? So whenever the cell receives the stimulus, so the cell produces the action potential. So how this action potential is taking place? So at the resting, So inside negative more ions, outside more positive ions, right? Whenever it receives the stimulus, inside the cell become more positive, outside it become negative. That is called depolarization. Okay, depolarization. After depolarization, the polarity of the membrane, this positive and negative changes, will be re-established. That is called repolarization. Then after repolarization, the nerve is going to become a resting membrane to maintain resting membrane potential. That is called hyperpolarization. It become more negative than resting membrane, called hyperpolarization. You can see here. So inside, so outside it is more positive charge, inside it is more negatively charged before depolarization. Okay. So next comes the ionic basis. So how the action potential is taking place? That is mainly because of ions. Okay. So whenever the nerve receives the stimulus, suddenly there is an influx of sodium ions is taking place. Okay. Inside the cell, sodium ions will be increases more. That is leads to depolarization. So after depolarization, it is the sodium channels will close and potassium channels will open. So potassium efflux is taking place. That is called So depolarization, whenever the nerve receives the stimulus, the voltage gated or the sodium channels which is present on the cell membrane will open. The sodium begins to rush. Okay, so this is the sodium channels will open. The sodium will begins to rush inside the cell. Okay, sodium will rush inside. So as I told, the resting membrane potential is minus 70 millivolts. So here it is minus 70 millivolts. So that is going to positive side plus 35 millivolts. That is more positive ion. Sodium is a positive ions, right? More sodium is going inside. That means that become more positivity inside the cell. It become plus 35 millivolts. Okay, minus to plus. So this is before, this is after, this is before. Clear? That is called depolarization. You can see here. So sodium channels are opened here. So more positive ions is going inside the cell. Okay. So that become minus 70 millivolts is going towards the positive side. Okay. So you will get the curve like this. So positive, more positive ions are going inside. So in the curve also from minus 70 it is going to plus 35 millivolts. That is called, this is a depolarization curve. Next, coming to this repolarization. In the repolarization, these sodium channels are closed. Okay, here sodium channels are closed now. Now no more sodium is going inside the cell. So, but there is a potassium channels are present. Okay, potassium ion channels are present that get open. Okay, so that is reverse, from inside to outside more potassium ions are rushing. Okay, from inside to outside the potassium ions are moving. So that will bring a repolarizing. Okay, so more inside become more negative because more potassium ions, more positive ions are moving and bring to normal resting condition. The normal resting condition means inside negative, outside positive. You can see here. So now it is closed here. Okay, sodium channels are closed. Here potassium channels are open. So potassium, the green color potassium ions are going outside. So this is a depolarization. Then coming back to downward stroke is called repolarization. Okay, called repolarization. Understood this one? So this is actual curve of action potential. So if the question is action potential curve, you have to draw this one. Okay, I will explain. So this is the resting condition, minus 70 is this is the membrane potential in millivolts. Okay, minus 90, 70, 50, 30, minus 10, then coming to the 0. So the 0 is the baseline. Okay, neutralize new. This is the time. Now at the minus 70, the cells are in the resting condition. When you give a stimulation, okay, here suddenly the ionic changes will taking place inside the cell, that will leads to depolarization. So this is depolarization. Okay, so that will gives to depolarization. So depolarization is a upstroke, means from the positive negative side it will overshoot the zero potential and going to the positive side, that is a plus 35. It will overshoot on the plus 30. Okay, so after that it is coming back to normal. So that is called repolarization. The polarity will be maintained. In the depolarization, sodium channels will open on the cell. Inside, sodium ions will move inside the cell, so it become more positive. In the repolarization, sodium channel close, potassium channels open, potassium efflux. Efflux means going outside. So potassium efflux is taking place. So more potassium efflux is taking place, that will lead to after hyperpolarization, then it is coming back to normal, the resting membrane condition. Again if it receives the stimulation, so again depolarization, then repolarization, again it will receive. So like this it is happening till the stimulation is present. Okay, so now excitability is over. Now the cell got the stimulation, the nerve cell got the stimulation, it get excited and produce the action potential. So after producing action potential, it has to go to another nerve, it has to pass through that is called conductivity. The conductivity, the second property,